It's your boy, Warren L. Booker Jr. I'm so happy that you decided to join us today. I said this time and time again, the Potluck is the soon to be internationally known webcast, and I am so glad that you are a part of this journey. I don't want to be before you long. However, I do want to kind of put a disclaimer out there. The topic that we're going to talk about today, or the dish that we're serving today, is for one, not to bash men. Two, ladies, your day is coming next week, and just keep that in mind. I will say this: amazing men exist. Again, amazing men exist, and I am one of them. So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and begin with our appetizer, which is waste no time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, raise one, mentor one, and applaud one. Again, just in case you missed it. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, raise one, mentor one, and applaud one. The book of Kabbalah for today is as follows. The measure of a man is measured by whom? Is it you? Is it me? Is it society? Or is it God? One more time for the people in the back. The measure of a man is measured by whom? Is it you? Is it me? Is it society? Or is it God? So with that being said, I gave you a few hints. The featured menu item for today is types of men. What types of men are there in this world? You guys may have some that you know about, and there may be some others that, I don't know about, but we do have some that we're going to cover today. And I will say this, we spend a lot of time discussing what is a good man. What is a good man? Can anyone define that? What is it? And with that being said, who is the person that defines it? We spend a lot of time talking about it. And I'll just say this, different strokes for different folks. You may like a certain restaurant, and I may think it's the most ridiculous restaurant in the world. A lot of people, for example, love Benihana, think it's the best. I think Samurai is the best. Who is right or wrong? You may think that you dating a person who doesn't have a job and depends on you is great. Versus somebody else may not think it. So it is up to you. Let a man examine himself. Let a woman examine who she wants to date. Alrighty, so with that being considered, there have been several researchers that have actually done research on the various types of men, and there is a breakdown of those. And of course, you can comment in the comment section if you want to. And one being a narcissist. And I did some research on that, and it came back basically describing a person who is charming, a person who has a lot of talent, a person who is impressed most people rather. And if you're under their spell, then you got, sometimes we sit back and say, well, I don't understand, or I wouldn't do that, but you don't understand what that person has encountered. Also, that person has really good conversation. They can sell themselves. They can make you think, they are the best. I've heard of situations where a man is promising a woman things, talking about all the stuff he has, all the cars, but she's never been to their house. She's never seen the car, but they always talk about the things that they have. And at the end of the day, the narcissist, or Mr. Narcissist, is a person who is stuck on himself and they're self-centered. So the second type of man that was mentioned here was Mr. Emotionally Unavailable. Mr. Emotionally Unavailable. I don't know why that's hard for me to say. And that is pretty much a guy who doesn't eagerly show up for you. They may miss important events that are there for you. They probably very rarely tell you that they love you. They're quick to claim that they like you, but they're not looking for a committed relationship. And that's kind of goes with the flow of, we're going to go with the flow, or we're not going to put titles or anything. We're just going to kind of see how it goes. And I'm not saying anything that is wrong with that, because I think sometimes people do rush putting titles on things. You're my boyfriend. You're my girlfriend. And you're not even dating. So, but with the Mr. Emotionally Unavailable, this type of person is just pretty much just absent. They're existing, but they're kind of absent, especially emotionally. Then you have your Mr. Need to be fixed. And this person, he really feels like he is beneath you. This is a person that feels like they are beneath you. And you may consider him, some people may consider him a diamond in the rough. And that is okay. That is cool. Sometimes people just need someone to bring out the best in them. I have some friends, I feel as if they running a Build-A-Man company, a Build-A-Bear company, because they could take someone who had nothing and pretty much make them into a great person by following aspirations and goals and getting them set up, and then they leave them. But sometimes I'm quite sure there are some that stay. But I think some women really do seek a man that they can build. They want to fix up something. I think it's even comes sometimes is a person that is controlling, and they want to feel as if they made someone. So that one kind of can go both ways. And again, women, we're talking about men today. Your day is next week. Then you have Mr. Commitment Phobe. He has a history of short relationships and may never have been married. He has several excuses why he hasn't been married. And most of the time, it's probably going to be the fault of someone else. And again, people, just a little backstory. We're on number 4. We have 8. One thing that brought this topic on was I was a part of a cast that was filming a movie here. And there was a certain title. We're going to talk about that later in the film. I'm like, what does that mean? So that was one of the actresses that pretty much gave us a whole rundown of what type of men there are. And to be truthful, I only thought that there were 2 type of men, a good one and a bad one. But as you can see so far, we're on number 4 of 8, that there are several. And there are some videos that I watched that were even more than that. And then moving on to number 5, you have Mr. Parasite. He gets help at your expense, and assisting him often puts you in harm's way. So that's the woman that will actually risk her job or launder money for their boyfriend or for their husband. And you're like, huh? You're sweet. Why did she? She's with the parasite. She's with the parasite. And neither you nor the relationship benefits from what he takes from you. It's always a relationship of any kind should be give and take. Then you have Mr. Bully. He blames you for things that aren't your fault. Like, I've heard of situations that were abusive. You made me beat your wife. Huh? No, that was a conscious choice. So Mr. Bully, he talks to you like you are a child. He uses an intimidating tone with others when asking for help. He criticizes your character and possibly even your children. So that's Mr. Bully. So moving on to number 7, Mr. Pushover. He will agree with anything you say, and I'm quite sure a lot of people like this type too. That's not me. He has low self-esteem, and he has no sense of self-confidence. He is unable to voice or argue his opinions or desires. I'm quite sure I've seen some women say they like that kind of man. Just sit back, listen, and do it as I tell you. Yeah. No, I ain't signing up for nothing like that. And if I do, just know that somebody for which my name. Trust and believe. Alrighty, so that's Mr. Pushover. I mean, I don't even like friends like that. I mean, disagree with me sometimes. You have an opinion. You don't agree with everything that I say. Mr. Taken. He's married, engaged, or in a relationship with another woman. And please note, if he's married and only separated, he is still married. A lot of people get caught up with that because they say, well, oh, he married, but he's separated. No, he's not, because you ain't never been to his house neither. He only comes to yours, and y'all have dates on Tuesdays or a Monday. You know why? Because he's with the family. I'm sorry. I hope I don't lose my player card for telling that, because I'm not a player, but that's just the truth. And I've had some friends that I've had to talk to about that, like, y'all going on dates on Monday. Have you ever been to his house? No, it's something wrong with that. So again, if he is separated too, hey, he is still married. So just keep that in mind. And some people are okay with that. Some women are okay with that. I know some people rather, that only want somebody else's husband. They don't want the responsibility of a relationship. They feel that most men will cheat, so they just don't commit. Which, there are some good men. Again, I want to make sure that I put that out there. So those were the 8 that I found online. So then I thought about the other ones. Now, the term that I was talking about while we were filming Nice Guys Finish Last, which will be premiering here shortly, there was a character who was a homosexual. Like, Homosexual. What? Huh? Hobo? Okay, I know what a hobo is, but how does that tie into, sexual? So I asked questions. So upon asking questions, I found out a lot more about that. And it was quite unique. It was quite interesting. Um, what I found with that, and it's pretty much a person who um, enters into a relationship to prevent from being homeless. They enter in a relationship to prevent from being homeless. I know that that sounds weird, but that is actually the truth of this matter. A homosexual, so if you hear that again, is someone that enters in a relationship to prevent from being homeless. And as we talked about this more, it was explained to me that this person may not only be in a relationship with one person, they may, be into a relationship with several people. And like one week, and then she gets tired of him, and then he moves to the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. So you got the whole month sewed up. You don't have to pay any rent. And of course, I'm quite sure they're laying it down really good. Y'all know what I mean. So, they just keep this cycle. So by the time they're on week 4, if there are several, week 1 has forgiven him, and it's all over again. So again, no rent, no mortgage, and if all of them two were quit him, as my mom would say, they would not have any place to stay. So that's why they call them a homosexual. Then you have your metrosexual, and what I found with this is a man that is very conscious about what he wears. I mean, likes cologne, he likes clothing, he may like shopping, and that's what they call a metrosexual. Now, I don't know how they tie those two with liking to look nice, and even how the word sexual, as you hear, even in homosexual you have that, and then metrosexual is kind of tied in to that. And I'm assuming that has something to do with manhood, maybe. I'm not sure. And lastly, and I'm not going to say the real word, but you have your F boy, and you can fill in the blank. You know what F means. I'm not talking about forgive. And with that being said, I was told that this person is kind of just, most of the time there is good relations in this, but they're not really committed to nothing. There's really no good that is looked for it to come out of it. Let me go to the Urban Dictionary. I had it pulled up and I pulled it down because I don't want to lose my validity card by being wrong. So give me 1 second and I'll pull that up. But I think there are some songs about that. So basically it says a F-boy is someone who says, I'm bad at relationships. And they said it's probably nearly the truth. And also someone who's just so emotional that he can't deal with it. So it's like a person is always can't deal with nothing, afraid of relationships, but they always are charming sometimes and seeking relationships. I know some of my homeboys that fit that category, but I ain't gonna call you out. You don't have that to worry about. But people are attracted to those, and like I stated earlier, different strokes for different folks. And also, another one is a mama's boy. And I don't really like the term boy put on that because I feel as if that a man should honor his mother as well as his girlfriend or his wife. But I do think both of those could be done simultaneously. And also that would be a good example of how they're going to treat you. If a man is really good to his mother, then more than likely he's going to carry that same behavior over to you in your relationship. So people, are you a mama's boy? They say like it's a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing. If you don't know how to honor your mother and basically let her know her place in your life, if your mother is running your life and running your relationship, then that is a problem. So you have to love your mother enough to let her know, hey, Mom, I'm an adult. Let me, run my life. And sometimes you have to check your mama in the name of Jesus, and let her know, no, you cannot be calling my ex-girlfriends and inviting them to events and going back behind my back, talking to my girlfriend about what's going on, telling me I shouldn't buy her this and I shouldn't buy that. And no, there has to be a point of separation. So, and when I think of this, and I love her, but I think about Mama D on Love and Hip Hop. I think about also what's her name? Wow, I've thrown Rashida's mom. Like, they're always in their children's relationship and overstepping boundaries all the time. So, every now and then you have to check her. Candy has an issue with checking her mother. She crosses the lines all the time. I understand that that's your mother. You have to respect her, but she should also respect you and your relationship. And just know sometimes you don't have to speak on things. It's not your business. You're not in a relationship with that person. And believe it or not, that's it. So I have our dessert, and I don't see any comments down here. So I will check and see. But if you have a type of man that you'd like to share, you're more than welcome to do so. But the dessert for today is: a pretty face gets old. A nice body will change, but a good person will always be a good person. So you may have some love handles. You may have a little stomach. And that other person may not in the beginning. But again, a pretty face gets old. A nice body will change, but a good person will always be a good person. And going back to the face, I'm telling you, sometimes there are people so pretty that they're ugly. And again, that changes. That gets old. Think about some of y'all classmates. That person, that girl or that boy that was just the stuff back then. Look at them now. They look 80. And you're 40. They gain weight. They're no longer playing football. So things change. So I'll go back and share our appetizer and my book kebab. And if there's nothing else, I will be out of here. And if that's the case, today it's going to be a snack. Alrighty, so the appetizer for today is: waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, raise one, mentor one, and applaud one. And the book of kebab for today is: the measure of a man is measured by whom? Is it you? Is it me? Is it society? Or is it God? So again, another disclaimer: this is not to bash men. Women, your week is next week. There are some amazing men, and I would like to think, and I know that I am one of them, but a lot of women are raising boys who will turn to men, so keep that in mind while doing so. Thank you so much, Katie. I'm so glad that you could join us. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of what you allow. Be mindful of what you allow to date you. Be mindful of the things that you let, and I say let, men do to you, women. Be mindful of that. Because of some of the things that you allow, it continues. Oftentimes, people attract those those that are build-a-bear, as I call them, or those needy ones, or those ones who don't necessarily have a backbone. You attract that, you like that because you feel as if you're in control. But that gets old. And with that being said, I'm out of here, people. Thank you so much for joining us. I will see you again next week. Next week, we'll be talking about women. I'm going to spend this whole month, for the most part, talking about relationships, types of men, types of women, love, what does it mean, how should one enter into a relationship. Even though I know last month was Black History Month, which is the month of love, too. But I have to deal with that Black history, so we're going to carry over with love and relationships this week. With that being said, I am Warren L. Booker Jr. I like saying that. I love saying my name. Again, I am Warren L. Booker Jr. It sounds like a sentence, doesn't it? Let me say it one more time. I am Warren L. Booker Jr., the host of the soon-to-be internationally known webcast entitled The Potluck. Thank you so much for joining us. I ask that you please like, tag, and share this video. And I am out until next week. Have a great day.